Hey, this is Todd from Droids Canada Radio. You can find us every Thursday, 9 to 11 on accessradio.ca.
Hey, this is Pat Mastroianni from Degrassi.
This is Sean Gunn.
Hey everyone, it's Tammy Stronach from The Neverending Story.
This is Jeremy Taggart.
This is David Faustino. Hey, what's cracking, y'all? It's your boy J-Rock. You know, I'm Sierra Era Igra. You're listening to Droids Canada.
And now we're pleased to bring you our feature presentation.
Warning. Listener discretion is advised.
In your face, all over the place.
We're online 24/7. 24/7.
You're listening to the hottest internet station.
Access Radio.
Coffee. Coffee now!
9 years running, over 500 episodes, 25,000 fans on social media, 3-time award-winning podcast, the show that pissed off Arrow, Stephen Amell on Facebook.
The podcast that has the most listens by the way of Ashburn, Virginia.
This guy's got the right idea. He wore the brown pants.
Stuff and pee and poop stuff.
Not the poo.
There is some smooth knee pits out there.
I got bad knees.
VCR on Access Radio.
Beer your pain. Is it a Charlie horse?
No, it's But I hope you leave enough room for my fist, because I'm going to ram it into your stomach and break your goddamn spine!
And here we go.
And we're live, Droids Canada Radio. It must be 9 o'clock Eastern Canadian Standard Time.
Is there such thing as a Canadian Standard Time?
Well, I met this fucking idiot a long time ago. And I was working at a previous job. I can say this because I don't work there anymore. I was working for a company called Convergys. They hired stupid people. And I'm not saying that to discourage anyone I've actually worked with, because there's a lot of nice people. But they know who I'm talking about instantly. They hired people who had no business working in this type of industry, who couldn't chew gum and tap their foot.
At the same time, who was stupider, do you think? The people, some of the people that they hired, or the company itself?
Both.
Because that place was well known for, if you want to take a month off and do nothing, get hired there, train, and then quit. How many people actually did that?
True. I mean, that's the problem, is that they didn't really, at the end, they didn't take things seriously in the regards. So, anyways, I remember once I was talking to someone, and we took care of the United States, West East Coast, and they said, the client says they're in Eastern Standard Time. Is that the same time zone we're in right now? Like, oh no, dear, we're in Canadian Standard Time. We are our own time zone. Really? I was like, yeah, we're actually we're 15 minutes ahead and behind, depending where you are.
Okay.
She believed me.
Oh. Oh no.
This person, the worst part is that there's a person in question got released and didn't realize they got fired and didn't refuse to leave the property because they wanted to go back to work.
It's so fun to be able to convince people things.
It's really weird in the world we live in that people don't understand when they're actually being fired.
No, really. You're fired. No, seriously.
Listen, I used to be a manager, and I know for a fact, like in the spiel they're giving you, the word terminated, sever, working relationship is dropped 5 to 6 times in that splurge, and then you end go, oh, are you walking about? Okay, I need to take your swipe card. Well, how am I going to get back in the building? And you just shut down. Anyways, so let's not talk about depressing times in my life.
No, I do have one great convincing story. This is going back years ago when I worked at I opened up a whole bunch of different coffee chain locations, we'll just say. And in the tourism district of near where we live, Niagara Falls, and so you'd get a lot of American people coming in, and it's amazing how little Americans know about Canada. So one American guy comes in, and he's, I'm just chatting with him behind the counter, and he ends up saying, why does Canada only have one road? And I'm like, one road? What do you mean? Like, you look outside, you can see multiple roads. He's like, no, just one main road that goes through Canada.
I wish.
What is this QEW? What does that mean? So my response is instantly, QEW, that means quite anywhere. But any is spelt with an E in French. And they're like, oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, it takes you quite anywhere throughout Canada. That's why it's called that. So now this poor schmuck has gone home to wherever he's from thinking QEW means quite anywhere.
You're a horrible person, you know that?
Oh, 100%.
Is that because of what transpired the other day?
What? What do you mean?
I like how Doug Ford opened up the golf courses just in time for the Leafs to be eliminated from the playoffs.
No, more importantly is he invited 550 healthcare workers in just so they could be there for the choke. It's totally true. No, I have some people who are too into the whole Canada hockey thing that their days and weeks were ruined, and people are messaging them saying, "Are you okay?"
Oh, no, the one that burned my ass the most, pun intended, was the Doug Gilmour jersey burning.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what the fuck are you doing, man? Doug Gilmour is just a national treasure in his own regards.
So, did that happen the night of?
Yeah.
So...
He tweeted it out, and then Doug Gilmour caught wind.
I have a very important thing for anyone who's listening. If you're ever pissed off at something, I mean, so totally pissed off, don't do anything about it until the next day.
Why is that?
You will always change your thoughts on it once you're not as mad.
The winds of shit.
Like, come on. If I've spent X number of dollars on a hockey jersey, I'm going to burn it because I'm mad that somebody lost a sports game.
Well, that's the thing, though. I actually was speaking to someone who is by far one of the biggest diehard Leafs fans I know, and he wrote a Facebook post about how he's done. He can't do it anymore. And it wasn't because the Leafs didn't make the playoffs. He couldn't deal with the toxic behavior that happened with the fans. Now, this has been an ongoing thing for many years. They ran Sundin out, if you remember that.
Well,
that doesn't matter. They treated Sundin like garbage. He carried that team.
No, there were other players who were treated like garbage. The problem with Sundin was he had that they called it the Muskoka Five. They all had they all had the no trade clauses,
right?
Where they could have gotten a lot for him when the Leafs were doing nothing, and he refused to, which was all part of the contract.
These guys are still getting their paychecks at the end of the day.
Oh, 100%.
You're still getting to see an exciting hockey game. Like, I mean, let's ignore the fact that Toronto couldn't pull the trigger on Montreal 3 games straight. Besides that, I mean, that's how sometimes sports works.
Yeah.
Sometimes it goes your way. Sometimes it doesn't go your way.
It's all about the momentum.
It's all about the momentum. But underneath no circumstances should you ever, and I mean ever, message someone's kids on Twitter and attack another player's kids on Twitter.
Yeah,
that's low. That
tells
me
way over the line.
And this is the thing that I bitched about. You know that on the podcast for a very long time is about the social media as a gun. You heard that analogy billions of times.
Oh yeah,
it's true though. It's like, well, I have a voice now, but you don't. No one fucking cares. Like, I don't honestly care what someone thinks of me. There's no point in caring because I know what I'm doing, and they think they know what I'm doing. But at the end of the day, if someone messaged Littlefoot and said
Little feather,
what he said on the radio show was horrible and you are a whatever, I would go to that house and kill that man. Because you don't fuck with someone's family.
Dude, I can't handle 2 hours by myself on the radio. You're not killing anybody. Thing, though, but you got to go through me first.
It's the rule.
Sleep on it.
What's the mob rule?
What's that?
Never mess with someone's family.
No.
If it's something, you take care of that person. But you don't go for the family. Family's low.
It's just because everyone can send anonymous hate now, and that's what it is.
And no one thinks that's a problem, though.
What was the Mike Tyson thing? Social media is good until somebody can come and punch you in the face, something on those lines?
Yep.
Yeah, it's...
But that's what we've always said, though, is that if you said this back in our time growing up, or even our parents' time growing up, you had to pay the piper. It's kind of like what happened to Perry when he hit Tavares.
Yeah.
Had to happen.
Yeah.
It was going to happen,
but
it was an accident.
The way that they handled it in the hockey law right away, put it to bed, and that was it.
Yeah.
So, I honestly don't think that should have happened. And full disclosure, I am a fan of the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Well, no one's perfect. We know this.
They lost. Has it changed my viewpoint? No. Has it changed my life? No. Would it have been great if they would have won? Yeah, it would have been great. There would have been more full hockey games that I would have watched.
I would have won either way.
Now they're out. Okay. So I'm just going to live my life as if they won. It doesn't matter. And I had a different point now, but I started talking about that, so I forgot.
But that's the thing, though, is that at the end of the day, I feel, and that's what they were bringing up, is that should fans be held accountable for their actions? And to bring up another awareness point, what's been happening with the NBA? Have you been catching any of that?
No, haven't followed
People
anything.
have been throwing stuff at the players as they're leaving their games in the playoffs.
Really?
Yeah. Like a battery.
A battery.
That's an 80s thing.
That had to be in Philly.
That's a Philly thing.
A Philly thing. They threw batteries at Santa Claus.
But that's the thing, is that that's not acceptable. Like, then you had people calling, racial slur one of the players, and they found out who it was. Lifetime ban from MSG.
Yeah.
For anything like. But that's the thing, though. Like, you need to hold these people more accountable. Is what it boils down to. And the last one was the guy who got hit with the water bottle. They just yanked the guy out of the crowd and arrested him. Didn't even think twice.
I always see
and it happened in wrestling too.
The guy who was held accountable at the one of the last Oasis concerts that I went to, who attacked Noel Gallagher on stage. He was held at the side of the stage, and I literally saw him get kicked in the face as he was held at the side of the stage. It was amazing.
Two stories. One, I was at a Tea Party concert, Friendship Festival, and you know how they were doing the crowd surfing back in the day? I was like in the front row. And this guy was kicking as he was going over because he thought it was funny. And this bouncer was huge. I'm a big dude. We can admit that. This guy made me look bulimic in every way possible. And it says that guy came down off that body surf. The hit was so loud, it drowned out static and stereo for 2 seconds.
Ooh.
It's pretty much what. And that guy was put to sleep. And the whole crowd went, oh!
When crowd surfing became a thing, that must have sucked being a security guard for concerts.
They didn't know what to do with it. But the other what's the other story now? God. Oh. Also, you should be careful of who you throw stuff at. Because you just don't know who you're going to piss off.
Yeah.
At a Henry Rollins concert, you already know where this is going.
Yeah.
He was on stage. He was doing like a little intimate interactive kind of thing with the lead singer of Sonic Youth, I think it was. I can find you the clip. It's actually hilarious. And, they obviously want to see music. They don't want to see the intimate interactive. This kid threw his fucking shoe and hit Henry Rollins.
First mistake.
That is the first mistake. That man's scary.
Extremely.
He's extremely scary. Like
he's intense.
He's very intense.
Yeah.
And somehow he is not, he's done so many roles as being a white supremacist, and he's actually not. Like, I mean, if you he played that role so many times, like, yeah, I can see it.
Yeah.
But he's not. And so, still, that's like one rule. Don't piss off someone who you know could probably kill you. Also follow up. Probably hide the body. But what's funny is that he just takes the hit, he looks down, picks up the shoe, and goes, well, between me and you, I don't need this shoe, but you do. So if you want your shoe, I'll see you after the show. And then the whole crowd went, ooh. Someone went home without their shoe.
I had that happen to me once.
Anyways, we are going to take a break, and we're going to play some White Snake. No, it's not White Snake. Sorry. I looked too far ahead. Coming up, I forgot to mention, we'll get right there. The Meridian Center in February in St. Catharines.
The Garden City.
We actually have a concert booked, and I'm going to see. I'm not a fan of the Glorious Sons, but Littlefoot said I had no choice.
They're a good band. You'll hear it in a moment.
With that said, here's some Glorious Sun followed up with J.J. Wild, who's actually opening for them. So we'll be right back.
Hello, this is Kenneth from Droids Canada Radio.
That's not your real name.
No, but I don't want to get fired.
Okay.
But I have a surprise for you.
What's that?
It's a poem.
A poem, you say?
Yes.
What is that?
Mellow Lee is not for me. Sauerkraut has got no clout. 9 to 11, DCR Radio, the flagship show.
And we're fired. Man in the Box, Alice in Chains, always a great song.
Is it? Is it always a great song?
You don't want to pick the damn song?
What if they found... Okay, a man was locked away in a cage in some crazy person's backyard for, decades, and they found this person, and this person cannot be integrated into society because they've gone so mental from being locked in this box the whole time. If you played that, let's say a 9 foot long by 5 foot high box and this person was 6 feet tall, so they couldn't even fully stand. So they're all hunched over and all like gnarly hands and fingers and stuff.
They got salad
and
fingers.
Then this person gets released, but like I said, cannot integrate into society because of the mental issues that have happened by being stuck in this box for all of this time. Playing that right afterwards, would it still be good?
I don't know.
Ironically, with my sick sense of humor, yes, it would be.
Also on this day, it is McLovin's 40th birthday.
McLovin is 40?
McLovin is 40.
Fucking gangsters.
Stupid driver's license. I just saw it right there. I had a good giggle. So
that's one of those movies that when I watched it, it was funny as hell. And then you forget about it.
Yeah.
But then it's on again. And you're like, oh yeah, this movie was funny as hell.
Totally forgot about that film.
Yeah, so did I.
That and Old School.
Old School?
I forget about Old School all the time, and they'll say, I'm like, Old School.
Old School is one of those movies that still has a few, like, I know we've talked about this on the podcast before. That would be the Todd and Dan versus the World, which drops every Monday night.
Yeah, I dropped on Tuesday this week.
Dropped on Tuesday this week?
This week and the week previous, I think.
Just blame hockey.
Yeah, hockey and David.
David.
Send all your hate tweets to @BattleSausage1.
At BattleSausage1. So I know I've brought this up to you before, but our generation, movies were, I think, a little more important to culture than they are now. And the movie quotes, and I remember, like, growing up, it was just movie quotes and Seinfeld quotes and Saturday Night Live quotes when it was funny. Right. Way back.
Way back
now,
in the day.
that doesn't really happen. And I think Old School is that tail end of movies that people still quote. Your Old School, your Tommy Boy.
Like, no one even quotes Animal House anymore.
No.
Holy shit!
You say something from that, people don't, like, I have the college t-shirt.
Yep.
And I've had people like, why do you wear that? It doesn't even say what college it is. Like, then you don't get it.
You don't get it.
No, you don't get it. But that's because we're old as fuck now.
It's true. They become so full of internet shaming that they forgot so much about great things. I grew up watching movies like what was it, American Graffiti.
Yep.
Porky's, can't watch that no more. No. That's a hard ban.
Yeah, no, there's certain movies that won't hold up today.
I really hope they don't watch it, because this generation that currently exists right now is what we call the snowflake butthurt maneuver.
Do you think they could ever handle Revenge of the Nerds?
No.
The Scene on the Moon.
I don't even know how they survived Van Wilder, and that's newer.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, I mean, there is so many bad movies in the 80s that all you can do is laugh. What about Stripes? Can't talk about Stripes anymore. Like, there was a movie with some, like...
Have you ever seen Hamburger the Motion Picture?
No. I've seen Hamburger Hill.
No, you need to somehow find Hamburger the Motion Picture.
Okay.
Everything that was 80s in a movie is this.
Okay, so it's got to be a robot.
What's that?
It's got to be a robot for Polly.
There's
no robot for Polly?
There's no robot.
Then you just spoke
There's no Polly. However, there is Dick Butkus. He's Grill Sergeant Druden in it. It's about a guy who's he can receive an inheritance as long as he gets some sort of a college diploma.
Of something.
But he keeps on getting kicked out of college for having sex too much. Of course, an 80s movie.
Can't never exist now.
Of course, yes, this is an 80s movie. So he goes to Buster Burger University to learn to become a employee at a Buster Burger franchise.
Oh, God. You know, it's
and the hijinks ensue.
I just thought of a worse movie than that.
What?
Idle Hands.
I've seen Idle Hands.
Yeah, that will not survive.
That would no.
No.
But I do highly recommend Hamburger the Motion Picture. No. It is so freaking horrible.
Okay. Toxic I wonder if any of the original Tromeo films would survive. Toxie. The Toxic Avenger.
The Toxic Avenger
Kabuki Man.
See,
Kabuki Man.
I absolutely loved the Toxic Avenger.
Yeah.
The movie was just so ridiculously hilarious. Like,
I'm afraid that people are going to get so disconnected of trying to like the Ryerson thing. That's now the new thing.
Oh, yeah.
We need to get rid of the name now. It's like, dude.
Do you think they'll ever get rid of the name of the Pierre Trudeau Airport in Montreal?
Probably not, no.
No.
The French are pretty different.
That's true.
No, but I mean, I get the circumstances of why it should change, but can it not also go the other way? as a reminder of what not to do.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's the thing. You're always going to be changing. You're always going to find something wrong with someone like John A. McDonald.
If you look
they took out his statue. Yeah, if you look hard enough, you can find anything wrong with anyone.
Exactly.
No one's perfect. Hey now.
I'm sorry. I was just moving
Put your
my
foot
leg.
on my knee. I don't know how to react to that right now.
Well, hey. I am looking at you.
I'm not looking.
It's awkward.
I'm looking away.
Should we maybe go to music?
We should go to music. I don't even know what's on next. Oh, it's Whitesnake. This time it's Whitesnake. Whitesnake.
It's my fault.
Hey, this is DJ Johnny Rock, and you're rocking out with DCR on Access Radio.
One of the greatest Tool songs of all time. Sober.
I think, wasn't that the first one that really came out?
I think it was the first real big hit. I mean, people who are fans of Tool will argue all day long and say this song is better, that song's better. Just like Metallica fans will always say Enter Sandman's the best song, but really, it's the Kill 'Em All or Justice for All albums.
I remember being...
Metallica sucks! Sorry, I had to get that out of my system.
You're wearing the shirt, dude.
I know, but I feel like someone just took over my body and quickly yelled Metallica sucks.
No, they don't suck. They just can't keep time. When it comes to Tool, I remember when we used to have music videos.
You know who else is a Tool?
Who?
Melody.
Of course.
Wrinkled that one in there. He thought he was getting away with it 45 minutes in.
45
minutes
minutes
Not on
in.
my watch.
No.
Well, 50 minutes in. I don't know where we're at. You were saying?
Do you remember when there used to be music videos on music video stations?
Like Much Music?
When Much Music had videos and MTV had videos?
I remember when they had like multiple channels like Fromage. They had
It was Loud.
Loud.
That was the one that I always listened to.
Everyone's
and I think there was
Loud.
like Vibe was a different one, I think.
I don't know.
I just always listened to
Electric
Loud.
Circus. I remember once I was watching Electric Circus and I saw my classmate there.
Oh, wicked.
And she was dancing. She's now a Playboy playmate.
It happens.
What's weird? She was only 16.
Oh, no.
I think so.
While in...
I was in high school and then she
No.
Yeah. I think so.
That's really against
I could be
the
wrong.
law.
I've been wrong before. What? She's just dancing on Electric Circus. She wasn't doing.
Oh, no. I thought you meant Playboy at 16.
No.
Because that would be like way wrong.
No.
But see, when Much Music had actual music videos, and
that used to be the thing. You used to watch
those
music
shows
videos.
like that, and I've said over and over, and would they even be able to do it in last segment we were talking about in today's society? But Speaker's Frickin' Corner.
Oh my God! I want to bring Speaker's Corner back to Access Radio.
I loved Speaker's Corner. It was like I watched it anytime it was on. I would watch it just to see what people are saying.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe we should talk to Sauerkraut about that because that would be kind of cool to put a Speaker's Corner segment, just not even on our show, just on Access Radio.
No, that would be something to try to talk to Kojiko.
Really? I don't think they.
And get a speaker.
Kojiko. I don't want to get too far in the weeds about Kojiko, but if you recall, the time we were trying to work out a show.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. But that's because there's the
no,
reason
they don't
why.
want to pay
Like,
for
I
it,
understand
though.
the
They
reason
don't
why.
want to pay for it, and then the thing with companies like Much Music just conveniently it was all there. Like that was just the perfect width.
They had the perfect location as well.
Yeah.
Like if you're going to do a Speaker's Corner, you have to have a legitimate Speaker's Corner style booth to be able to record the
problem with
people.
Speaker's Corner is going to go back to the original comment we just talked about in the last segment. Was about people are going to say things because of the freedom of speech, and then another person's going to try and shut down Access Radio because we aired it.
No, but that's where editing comes into play.
Well, no, I get that, but you also have to. Sometimes you have to take leaps of faith.
Yeah.
To get ratings, and sometimes you have to push the envelope. All is grant, and talk about things that people shouldn't talk about. All is grant, and hopes that
Thursdays.
That's every Thursday.
Every Thursday.
Every Thursday. No, yeah, Thursday. No, Wednesday. Wednesday.
Wednesdays. Droidscanada.com.
Yeah. I don't think it's worth it in one way because this generation couldn't handle it. This generation couldn't even handle the Attitude Era in WWE if it came back.
But if it came back, could they support it?
No.
Don't think so? No. I see. I'm the opposite end of the spectrum on that.
I don't think any company in their right mind, because the moment shit comes their way, they distance themselves away from it. Regardless if they know the truth, they distance themselves. Like Hardwick is a good example.
Yeah.
They kind of went, AMC went, see ya, you're on your own, we're out of here. And his own company said, there's the door.
And then he came out and he's back.
He's back, but he had to serve a year or 2 years in the sin bin.
That's the same thing with James Gunn.
Wow.
You're out of here. We can't do this. No, but the fans really love you, so we'll bring you back.
Yeah. So I know that's a good concept.
All you have to do is make a movie with some beloved characters, and you'll be accepted again.
But with that said, we're coming up to 9 o'clock, the halfway point of our show. So enjoy a track or two before we start 9 o'clock, because that's when it gets.
No, you mean 10 o'clock? You mean 10 o'clock?
I don't know, man. I'm in different time zones. I'm in Canadian Standard Time.
No, you're actually doing that via like American Midwestern
America,
Florida Key time zone.
Anyways, here's the peppers.
Hey, this is Pat Mastroianni from Degrassi, Joey Jeremiah, and you're listening to Droids Canada.
This has been a nightmare today. We are having such a hard time getting anything to work properly, but we're dealing.
The day ends in a Y. That's usually when it happens, eh?
You're such a funny guy. Look at he's such a funny guy. He's such a funny I could see the vein coming out in the head when you're sitting there looking at levels and you're testing microphones. Listen,
and it's just
man,
like,
I have to make the system work. It won't just work for us, okay? I have to do the hard work around here.
Hey,
the hard work.
I do the hard work. I arrive, and I
couldn't even bring coffee.
Well, I pulled in and it said, "I wouldn't mind if you brought a coffee," and I'm like, "I'm already here." I know you wouldn't have mind, but you got to message that
or even
earlier.
A Polar Pop.
Oh, Polar Pop.
Did you know dollar days are back at McDonald's?
Yes, I do.
It's only mediums, though.
You know what I can't believe about McDonald's?
What's that?
The freaking BTS meal.
Elaborate. I don't know what a BTS meal is.
So, the Korean boy band BTS has their own combo meal, and it comes with a special light-colored purple box and light-colored purple drink. Well, the drink is whatever you want, but the drink holder is light-colored purple. And I have what it is well, do you know who BTS is?
No,
it's a Korean boy band.
Okay,
it's K-pop.
Horrible.
And it happens to be a 10-piece chicken McNugget meal with 2 different sauces, fries, and a beverage, and that is the BTS meal. And it has been selling like crazy because it's BTS. People have even been taking the empty containers and selling them on eBay for $60 for an empty frickin' chicken McNugget container because it's the BTS meal.
Well, that tells me that's going to end this first hour because I just took in some information I wasn't ready to take in. With that said, as we start the hour, listen to some Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Or some BTS.
We'll be right back.
Hi, this is Tara Strong, and you're listening to Droids Canada Podcast. Whatever, just listen to the podcast. Yeah, whatever.
All hail the droids. It is now 10-ish.
Exactly.
Ish. We are still live, of course, on accessradio.ca. Of course, you're here with Todd and his hetero life mate, Dan.
Hello. I'm going to... Hello.
And you know what? You ever watch Brooklyn Nine-Nine?
No.
You should. You would actually find it funny.
Okay.
Because there's a scene that uses the same type of argument you would have when saying the word hello. Remember how you went hello and we used to go hello?
Hello.
But there's one that goes Nikolash.
Nikolash?
Name of the guy's child. He goes, oh yeah, you know, I'll bring it for Nikolash. He goes, no, Nikolash. And it would go back and forth for 5 minutes.
So that is the
Nikolash.
That is like the Americanized Italians.
Yes.
Where they just talk normally, they're having a conversation. Tonight I'm going to have some dinner. Or, we were thinking of doing some veal cutlets or whatnot. But
cutlets? That's hard to come by.
To start, we're going to be doing a nice lasagna made with ricotta. And then after that, we're going to be having some... And you got to throw the accent in specific words. I call it the wopsent.
Wow.
Well, hey.
Racist bastard.
I can say it because I'm one of them.
No, that's not true.
No?
You know what? Okay. I'm going to share a story with you.
Look at my nose, dude.
I know. It's pretty out there. It's a predominant Italian nose, and I'm not going to argue that with you. I'll share a story with you. I will take you back to months ago. I even did the sound effect of this
dream sequence.
The dream sequence. Me and another individual, David, were playing some Call of Duty, and this kid came on, and and I think he was like 10 years old or whatever, and he was dropping the N-bomb over and over and over and over, and finally it was just like done, and then we just tore this kid apart. And at the end, he actually said, "Well, it's okay because I'm like, no, that's never okay. You never say that. You never say that word. This word is bad. I don't care what you say. I don't care if you are. It doesn't matter. The word is bad." That's the problem. These kids where do you pick up all these horrible words from? Play around with Call of Duty. You were there. You had the headset on at the end credit before they changed it.
I did, and I think that's just what we were talking about at the beginning of our show with today's online social media society where you can be pretty much nameless until it ends up catching up with you later on.
I
in
report
life.
them,
but like that's a place where they can get away and then laugh at it. And,
listen, if you want to call someone in, call someone fucking asshole. That's fine. We're
then,
okay with that.
And then what happens is they get their account suspended, and then the email gets sent to their parents, who they set the account up for,
well, that's not always
saying
true.
that it got suspended, and then the parents have to ask them, why did it get suspended? And then you see them sweat. I'm not saying this. I'm not saying this by experience.
Yes, you are.
100%. My child's Minecraft account was suspended.
For what? You don't want to get into it.
No, I'll totally get into it.
Oh, so burying your kid on national radio. That's cool.
No, what happened was
bury him.
This is the story I was told. So she got hacked. Somebody got her account information.
Oh.
Somebody locked her out of her own account, took all of her stuff, and when the account finally it got suspended for a certain amount of days, she had to email them. They emailed my wife, who's ended up the account number.
Yeah, because it's a Microsoft account.
And then when it came back, her account came back with different things in her possession, different skins.
That's cool.
All of this stuff. So she claims it got suspended because of it being hacked. But I do know on account she, I think it was some sort of trivia game thing. She would go in against really little kids just to destroy them.
See, that's the thing with Minecraft. If you have a completely open world and anyone can enter it, people will just show up and destroy your world.
Come in and just
destroy your world. So that's why mine's private. Like, I mean, I have it set that I know the people that are coming in.
I would so be that person who came in just to destroy things.
But I mean, that's just,
some people just want to see the city burn.
That's horrible about kids. That's just that kids will do stuff like that. But at least your kid was alive. Speaking of which, let's move to this joke.
Oh, I know where this is going.
What's the difference between a 4-year-old and a bag of Coke, Dan?
What would that be?
Eric Clapton would never let a bag of Coke fall from a window. And with that said, this is the song "Tears from Heaven" by Eric Clapton. Be right back.
God.
Well, I know what you're thinking. Why did this happen? Well, it's a droidscanada.com. Find us on Podbean, Twitcher, Point of Interest, Laughable, blah, 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 long, drawn out kind of story.
Your podcast sucks, and there's no coffee.
Hello.
What have you brought me today? Tell me.
It's decaf. Yum.
It's promo time. Live from Droids Canada Podcast, I give you the agitated.
Yes! It's okay. It's the Mountain Man. He's from the show. Oh, come on. Find our award-nominated podcast, videos, and more at droidscanada.com.
We are coming up to the second half of the second hour. We're not counting pre-show because pre-show is pre-show.
Pre-show's pre-show.
Pre-show's pre-show. I mean, we were there. We talked about it a little bit.
Pre-show hype.
We need to have a pre-show for our show because we are what?
The flagship.
The flagship show only can be found on Access Radio. Just as a reminder to fans, of course, because people have asked me, believe it or not, hey, I missed your show. How do I catch up on it? Funny you say that. Every Friday on droidscanada.com, we will be re-airing the actual radio show without music, sadly, so we don't get a copyright strike.
Yeah, copyright.
I'm sure Sauerkraut wouldn't be happy about that either. I won't. So you'll listen to.
I say we should try it, and then it's easier to ask for forgiveness
That's
than
not
ask
always
for permission.
true. Did not work for Bill Cosby. No, did not work. Did not work.
Come on, he let everyone know it. He was part of his.
He tried getting parole, Dan.
It was part of his.
The pudding pop. Oh.
You know who else is up for parole?
Who?
Paul Bernardo.
No, really?
Yeah, parole hearing coming up soon.
Really?
Yeah, I think like 22nd or something like that.
Well, he'll be dead anyways. Doesn't matter.
Well,
you think he's gonna? Let's go theoretical.
Okay.
He gets out 2 days.
2 days?
Till he's snuffed.
See, I don't think so.
I think he'll get snuffed unless they put him up in northern Quebec where they can't find him.
I 100% don't think so because Homoka's been out for how long?
Yeah, but people weren't looking for her.
Every now and then,
you'll hear something that she was a school teacher or something like that. And she got kids again.
Yeah.
Like, how does that guy live with himself? The guy she married.
He was one of the lawyers.
That's so messed up, man.
Yeah, that is totally messed up.
Like, hey, I know I killed some girls. Want to hook up? You want to do the deed?
No, it maybe some things shouldn't even be said on internet radio.
Condom. Remember when over the microphone? Remember we listened to that? What it sounds like to give a hand job on a microphone. Do you remember that?
Yeah, that was just weird.
I don't know. We got a lot of weird shit. So, Dan, what I want to talk to you about today. Let's just say you work for a multi-billionaire company.
Yes.
Who keeps telling everyone record profits every year.
Yes.
Untouchable.
That's perfect.
Have their own, I guess, channel.
Good business.
Have multiple contracts with multiple networks.
Multiple.
Selling your stock.
Oh. What company?
Laying off your staff.
Oh, I think I know where you're going here.
I mean, it is, and we have touched. We do dabble everywhere. We can admit that. We both dabble. We dip our toe.
We're dabblers.
We are dabblers.
You got to make sure you say that right.
Dabblers. Ooh. Dabble. The World Wrestling Federation, or Entertainment now, or
WWE.
World Wrestling Federation Entertainment, or
Vince McMahon.
You're
Welcome to SmackDown.
I can't believe his fucking vocal cords with all that plastic surgery still makes it work. But they're cashing out. I think it's happening.
You think they're...
I think they're cashing out.
You think they're downsizing the entire
Vinnie
business?
Mac will never give up the reins in his life. He will die before he gives up the reins.
Which is why the show he's in charge of is the worst one.
Fair enough. But they released a lot of people in the last 2 years. And of course they played off COVID, furlough, we'll call them back later once we get everything. Everyone's like, that makes sense, blah, blah, blah. And then it goes like, okay, we haven't called anyone back yet. Okay, we're letting go our digital staff. And then, this is my personal favorite, they sent people's stuff home in garbage bags.
Yeah, I heard about that one. The person who did put the stuff in the garbage bag was instantly fired.
Not only that, the person who told that person to do it was fired also, who is also the VP of Talent Management, because he stole tons. Apparently he was hiding replica belts under his bed.
Oh, who was that?
I don't remember his name. I had it written down. They literally cleaned up. Now, normally you're saying, Todd, what does this mean? This means they're going to sell their company. They are starting to clean out. Any waste money they have, they're gutting it. Top tier guys are gone. Middle guys are gone, and now they're going to the talent. They're trying to make themselves so slim that when they sell, they get a bigger profit.
I could see another reason why they are doing some cuts is because they. I know they just announced they're doing the live shows again, and they're going to be touring around North America. If the money wasn't coming in, and now you have to redo all of your sets that you're doing to be able to travel. That may be
Not
a cost which they're, we don't want to lose any money on this, and we don't know if there's going to be a lot of people in the crowd.
That's not true. I think it's going to be the exact opposite. I think it's been so long, people are going to long to go to live shows again. I have a feeling that we're going to have a hard time going to an indie show just to get in. I think people are going to want to get out. I think it's the exact opposite. But what I feel is that since Peacock has now acquired their network, and they made a lot of money, and then they sold pretty much, in so many words, sold SmackDown to Fox, and pretty much USA owns Raw, and NXT is owned by USA. You got to start asking questions right now. Is it finally time they're just kind of cashing out? Because, I mean, when they sign some, and it's not the first time they've done this. They sign, let's take Braun Strowman as an example, to a big multi-millionaire contract, and then 2 years later go, yeah, we can't do it.
So does he still get paid the rest of that contract?
They probably pay him out X amount of dollars, which is not his full payout, to let him go.
That's
but
built
they did
into
the
the
same
contract.
thing to Bret Hart when they couldn't afford anything and they signed Bret to that 20-year deal, and they went, yeah, that's not gonna work, bro. And he went to WCW and made more money he's ever made in his life. The point is, though, I'm kind of curious how this is going to turn out. I'm very curious on how this is going to turn out.
Being a wrestling fan, as you are, you're a lot more of the wrestling fan. I'm,
You dabble.
I'm the occasional wrestling fan.
Dabble.
So, the product has gotten stale. The product has gotten repetitive. It's the same thing over and over. People are not watching. They need to do some sort of a shake-up like they did in the 90s to get people watching again. You know, now there's no more Cena. Maybe they can do things a little edgier.
Maybe. We'll see, because I think the biggest problem they've had right now is keeping an audience. Now, you got to keep in mind that at one point they used to have 15 million viewers on Monday, and they're fighting for 1.5 million.
From 15 to 1.5 million.
Because times have changed.
I think I accidentally hit a button on the microphone, so I don't know how this is
That's
working.
fine. But anyways, we're going to move to a quick break. We're coming up to the end of the show. We got about another segment left. You'll notice we have a lot more music this week because a lot of things have happened. We're just trying to get through the show, keep it nice and fun and live. Hopefully you're chiming in the chat, because I know we are. Just keeping the conversation rolling. Be right back.
Hey gang, Ralph Garman here. You're listening to Droids Canada. You've made an excellent choice. You have chosen wisely.
So imagine this, that you're out for a walk one day by the beach.
Am I wearing sandals?
Probably with socks, because you're fucking weird.
I like socks.
And sandals, such an Italian thing. That was a French thing. Is it white or black socks? Oh, Jesus Christ. They're ankle black socks.
Yes.
With a touch of gray.
Touch of gray. Shows my
Anyways, let's say you're out walking Ruby Noodles.
My dog.
That's such a funny fucking name. You're just you're just walking away, minding your business, and then you look over in the water and you're like, "Is that an ordnance shell?"
A what?
An ordnance shell.
Oh yeah.
And you're like, "What do we do?" What would Dan do? He'd probably jump in the water and go.
I would not take the
you sure you wouldn't? It's
possible live shell.
So, I saw this news break, and I was like, how the hell did a World War II shell end up on the shores of Lake Niagara-on-the-Lake? Apparently, it was a training facility not that far away from there.
Mm-hmm.
I had no idea.
Now, do you think this was
It did explode.
alive?
Oh, yeah. They blew it up.
They blew it up?
They blew it up. Better be safe than sorry. Blow the damn thing up.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, someday some kid's going to be out there going, bring it home, look what I found, boom. And then,
So,
they'll say, we have to stop, we have to shut down all the, the ordnance shells and
was it
ban them.
Like a big
It was
shell?
it was a cannon shell, I think.
So how does that wash onto shore?
No,
That's the thing.
That's the question I have. It's like, well,
is the tide in Lake Ontario strong enough to have that wash up onto shore?
I don't know.
Absolutely not.
No. But I'm actually pretty curious how it got there, because I know for a fact that I'd be very, very, very concerned if I was out taking my dog. I'm already dodging the dirty needles and the broken glass, and now I have to dodge giant-ass fucking tank rounds.
Welcome to Niagara, honeymoon capital of the world.
It's funny because someone's posted that Welland is a family-friendly place to live.
Oh.
And I just stared at that on Facebook.
So is Geneva Street.
Going, oh my God. Like, you people...
There's families there.
There is families there.
Some people are
friendly. What? It's pockets. It's like we talked about last week. Pockets. There's pockets. Unfortunately, Welland, most of it is one pocket.
Welland is one entire pocket. Chain it down or it will be stolen. From plant
the Rose
pots
City triple play
to railway ties to your bike to a wagon to recycling bins to
recycling bins are not even safe.
Catalytic converters.
Catalytic. Someone tried selling one on Facebook groups the other week.
Yeah. To anything copper, to your cell phone, to groceries, to, like, you name it. It gets stolen. Chain it down.
We're coming up to the end of the show. We're going to play a few more tracks, and then we'll be right back. Thanks for listening.
This is Inspector Gadget, coming to you from Droids Canada Podcast.
Oh, man. Another great episode of Droids Canada Radio, unfortunately, is coming to a close. Of course, you can find this show every Thursday from 9 to 11. 8 o'clock is the pre-show for the flagship show.
Flagship pre-show.
of Droids Canada. Of course, you forget, Monday at 9 o'clock is what?
That's the dupe.
The dupe, which is funny because do you know the definition of what dupe is?
Exactly, so I called it that.
Okay. Also on Monday, we're releasing the episode of Todd and Dan versus the World. I don't know what this episode coming up is. I should know. Last week
Neither do I, but I can tell you
we talked about China in the last week's episode.
We did. This week on The Dupe, I'm going to be going over music that you may recognize from movies.
Tuesday will be the return of mandatory metal. I will tell you all in advance, which I haven't told Sauerkraut, so he's about to find out. I'm going to be rebranding the show. I realize that that's too much metal.
Call it mandatory metal-ish.
Nah, we already have a metal show at night, so I'm going to rebrand it and I'm going to build it on everything. But in the meantime, though, we will continue to have mandatory metal until I officially get around to rebranding it. That's every Tuesday with me at 9 o'clock. Of course, every Wednesday, The Fact Is with Hollis Grant is on droidscanada.com.
Yes.
And do not forget, every Friday on droidscanada.com is the replay of this show.
Yes.
So with that said, from me and Dan and the cat that's taking a shit in the corner, have a good one.
Hello, babies. This is Austin Powers, and you're listening to droidscanada.com. Oh, it's very groovy.
I'm a Lego man. Listen, man. I'm listening to droidscanada.com, man.
I'll tell you, this is Rodney. Droidscanada.com is the only one that gives me respect. Are you kidding?
It's like, I listen to, like, droidscanada.com. These guys are, like, really, they're really cool.
What the hell's droidscanada.com?
They're really, like, really happening, you know?
I don't think so. I think they suck.
Tell you something, you guys. droidscanada.com. I'll tell you that when I listen to them fucking guys, I think they're all right. You know what I'm saying, huh? You know, if you want to get some great fucking entertainment, these are the guys you gotta listen to. droidscanada.com.